right, go ahead, aim in for me. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is always keep that finger a little bit higher from you, okay?
Okay.
What happens when somebody comes around the corner, scares the shit out of you? Your body flinches, right? So that's how we accidentally shoot people. So we want this right here, because that's how we end up like, or think of it this way, somebody tries robbing you, they're not just gonna let you shoot them, right? It's gonna be a fight, and it's usually close distance. So you go to pull that gun out, if you have a lazy trigger finger habit, as you're pulling that gun out and as they're whipping you to the ground, you could very well end up shooting yourself on that holster draw. It happens all the time. The other thing that happens is when people go to reholster, they have a lazy trigger finger and they get it stuck in there and it ends up pulling off on the trigger. We actually just had that happen, one of those holes in the floor over there about a week or two ago. The dude was okay, he got really lucky, but point still stands. So we always want that finger straight up and off that trigger until we're actually ready to shoot. Now the other thing is, both you guys seem like you have a little, always want that thing to be nice high up off that trigger. Now for your thumb here, I want you to take that dominant thumb and I want you to put it on top of the support thumb. There you go. Like, I bet you do know, you sick son of a bitch. No, I'm just joking with you, man. No judgment. All right. And then I want you to take this finger and I want you to get it tight up under the gun. There you go. You feel how that all just locked into place right there? That's what we want. We want to have good surface area coverage. So when that gun recoils, that energy is going to come out and transfer into the body.
Okay.
Now for your stance, I want you to have a boxing stance. So kick this foot back for me. There you go, but point your toes towards the target so that there, just like in basketball, I don't know if you ever shot basketball, basically you gotta have them toes pointed towards the target. You're a bit of knowledge on this, which is good. When it comes to flaring the elbows out, make sure you don't sacrifice surface area. So what I tell people is I puzzle piece that thing together. I then begin to lift my elbows out, but the moment my hand starts to come off of the gun, like if my hand starts coming off the gun at all, and that's my point right there. I'm not gonna try to flare my elbows out if it takes my hand off the gun. I come out just to the point where it keeps my hand nice in contact with that weapon, creating that neutral suspension with the weapon system. And then the last thing that I'll touch on is, some people talk about push-pull and all that stuff. What I just simply do is I take my support hand, I put the 4 over the 3, I try to line these knuckles up in here with the seams. That way, when I'm out here, I'm simply just pulling back a little bit, but I'm not pulling this way. I'm pulling back on this side to really just, to be dramatic. If you see my shoulder here, how my shoulder goes from here, I'm just keeping this whole thing in place. Thomas, do me a favor, come over here. You guys tracking what trigger slack is? It's all this free movement of the trigger, but it's not going off right now. The real trigger pull begins when I feel that wall of resistance. Now, I'm gonna shoot, but I want you to look at my finger. Don't look at the target, okay? So, when I'm shooting, I go back to what's called trigger reset. Listen for it. Hear it? I don't go any further. So when I'm shooting fast, I literally just go to the point of, that's it right there. I'm not coming all the way out here, back, jerking on it and stuff. I'm just keeping it to that point of reset, then I pull back again. As soon as I feel that click, I'm already aimed in, right? I'm pulling back on that thing. I'm gonna shoot again. So that's the other thing here. Grip pressure consistency and then trigger reset. It's all good. You're holding it back. Now go to that point of reset and stop. And pull back again. Look at that grouping, man. Notice how good he shot when he didn't even mean to shoot? That's the goal. That's what we want to accomplish here. So when we're aiming with iron sights, I'm not like an artist, so this ain't gonna be exact, but you guys will understand the point I'm making. All right, we got the rear sights back here, and then we got that forward sight. You're using that dot. What you wanna do is you wanna be using the tip, a front sight tip. So when you hold your finger out and you focus on your finger here, that level of clarity, that focus right here should be the very tip of the front sight. Okay. The dot we'll use when we do more fast shooting, but so now it makes sense that if this is technically the point of the impact and you're using the dot, that makes sense to why you're shooting low, because you're using that as a frame of reference.
Yes.
So then you're hitting low.
Yes.
Because that's what you're lining up with.
Okay.
If you use the very tip of that front sight, so this target right here, let's say that upside down trapezoid thing, if you hold it like that, dead center of that upside down square, then you should be hitting impacts in alignment with that.
Okay.
But as we get into the speed shooting, that's where you're actually going to just line up the dots, because we're at such a close distance and we're shooting so aggressively, we're not looking for pinpoint marksmanship anymore.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
This is pinpoint marksmanship. This is shoot the motherfucker.
That's a good way to put it.
What do I, when I say chasing the dot? Because you were doing great, 1, 2, and then you paused. It's all about rhythm too. The moment somebody starts to mess up the rhythm, I could always tell that they're gonna have shots they're winging. So I want you to hold your finger out in front of you again, and I want you to focus on your finger. Now, without moving anything, look at the target, and then focus back on your finger, and then back on the target, and then back on your finger. There's a period of time that takes place for you to focus on this versus that, right? That is what I mean when I say chasing the dot. You put it down. So what people will do is when they shoot, bang, they go from looking through the window at the target to they're like, well, where'd my red dot go?
That's what happened.
100%. Totally normal. What we need to get you to do is to say, fuck it. I know that I'm doing everything the right way, so I'm not even looking for my red dot. You know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at that target, and I'm locking it all in, so I know as that gun comes back, I'm gonna shoot fast. I'm gonna just pull that trigger back again and again. The amount of time it takes for us to go from here to there to here to there with our focus, that's some slow shooting. And that's gonna cause us to hesitate and to stumble. So what we just got to get you used to doing is to just shooting, and we'll do that with this next drill here, where you're just shooting 1, 2, 3, but you're still locked in like a fucking dog, just right on that target. Everybody has to know, but you got to memorize it, because every action begins in the form of a thought. You first think about things that you do. You guys ever drive after a home? Yeah, both of you drive home long distances. You ever have a long day of work and it's like you're just in the driveway all of a sudden? You're like, holy shit, I don't remember that drive at all.
Yeah.
But you still got there and you didn't hit anybody. How'd that happen?
Autopilot.
It's a programming of the subconscious mind. It's a habit, because you've done it so many times over and over before that your body just knew what to do and it did it. And you didn't even have to think about it. Autopilot. That's my goal, is I want to make everybody on autopilot. So that way you're acting safe, handling the weapon system safe, but yet still being deadly accurate without even having to think about it. Because you're going to have to solve problems taking place around you in real time. Last thing we need to worry about is this. Plus, we've already proven the less we think about it, the better we shoot. So that's the goal, is to be on autopilot. But you have to first memorize those safety rules. I'm telling you, man, I've seen a lot of people hurt themselves. Always goes down to that. You memorize those weapon safety rules word for word, you're already doing better than 90% of the people out there. Because every action now, everything that you do, it'll be in your mind. Treat every weapon as if loaded. Keep your fingers straight off the trigger until you're aimed and ready to fire. Never point the weapon at anything not willing to destroy. Know your target, sit with foreground and background. But because your accuracy went from, dude, you missed the target with 3 of those shots, everything ever since has been dead center. That's a huge improvement. And to shoot with 2.9, 2.5 splits, for context, the fastest I could run with this gun is a .15, .14, and that's if I'm cooking. So we've increased your guys' accuracy a little bit. We'll put some new targets up because I want to get some final data here. We've shot faster than we've ever shot before, right? Okay. We definitely were shooting accurate when we were shooting.
I feel like I learned more today than I have in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Say that again for the microphone.
I've learned more today than I have in the last couple of years.
Cool, man. That's my goal. You know, I just want to make people good shooters, man. That's really all. And help solve problems in high-stress situations.
I think I started shooting around 2023. And since then, within the last couple of hours, I've learned more in the last, 3 years.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Feel